Hello and welcome to Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be analysing and talking about the NASDAQ 100. Just before I start today's video, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you who have joined my Signal service. We had a very large number of you join yesterday. For those who've been thinking about joining my service and wanting to take that leap going forward, please visit my website dailymarketmovements.com. I've left the website link in the description of today's video. Very small fee of $29.99, but welcome to everyone who has joined. I really do appreciate the support, guys, so thank you so much. But in front of us is the NASDAQ 100, and I've been looking at the NASDAQ 100 for the past couple of hours actually, and one thing that I've actually identified is that we seem to be forming here a sloping wedge, a down sloping wedge. For those who don't know, this is actually very bullish. Basically providing that we can break out towards the upside. You don't want to see a snap towards the downside, but I mean, we would have to see a very aggressive move here towards the downside. Looking at this chart here, you would favor a move to break towards the upside rather than a break towards the downside. You would need a catastrophic event to occur for us to break down, and you'd probably go down towards 11,700 straight away. So I definitely favor a move to a break towards the upside. I'm not saying that this is going to happen this week or next week. Personally speaking, I actually think that we could get forced into this wedge. We've kind of got, not the wedge, the triangle here, sorry, because we've got this supportive area down at around 13,000. We're currently up around 13,500. Of course, we're kind of capped up here because we have that 0.236 fib level. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, I personally believe fighting in Ukraine is going to get a lot more severe within the next couple of weeks, as I think that Putin is really going to start ramping up the airstrikes. There's already talks of chemical bombs as well. So I think that we could see a few more negative headlines before things do start to clear up between Ukraine and Russia. But on the flip side, one positive today is that officials from Ukraine and Russia held their first talks on the border to Turkey. So that should be seen as a positive, although the Ukraine officials come out and said that, all Russia said is that they want Ukraine to surrender. So I think that it will take a few weeks until there is a breakthrough. I think eventually there will be one. It could be going on for weeks, if not months, though. And for that reason, I personally believe that we will slowly get wedged towards the downside here for the NASDAQ 100 down towards this 13,000 area. But the good news is that I do believe ultimately we will break out. And when we break out, it will be a violent, rapid move towards the upside, perhaps even up towards the 50 and 200-day EMA, depending where they're trading. I'm guessing it'll be around 14,000 to 14,300. For those who would have bought the dip yesterday, I did say, at the end of the trading session yesterday, that it would have been a perfect time to take profits, and you can see why. We had a fantastic day yesterday, and at one point today we'd actually wiped out half of the gains that occurred yesterday. And this is what we call yo-yo markets, towards the upside and then towards the downside. This isn't really an investor's market at this moment in time. You call it a trader's market, and that's because there's so much volatility. But when I say it's a trader's market, you have to take profits very quickly. You have to be nimble, in and out, in and out. So if your trading counts off you profit, you got to take it and run. The NASDAQ 100, you're getting all these wild swings, 2% on a daily basis, and that's because the VIX is above 30. When the VIX, which tells us how much volatility there is in the market, is above 30, that basically is telling us that it expects there to be a minimum of 2% swings, whether that be towards the upside or the downside within one trading day. And we're up at around 33 here for the VIX. But the good news is that late in the session here, there's still about another 50 minutes to go, but late in the session we have started to pull back. If I go into the hour chart, you'll see that more clearly. Just zoom out, there we go. We did have that move all the way down to around 13,430, but at this moment in time we've kind of pulled it back to be trading back around 13,600. So we've had a nice 170 point pull, pair of losses here, I should say. So that's very encouraging. So I think that it's all about this sloping wedge. We're going to bounce about in here for the next couple of weeks. That is my honest opinion, guys. So if you are expecting that fantastic huge breakout, I don't think that is going to happen within the next week or two. But as we do get further and further wedged into this wedge down near 13,000, it will become very, very exciting. And ultimately, as I mentioned before, I do believe there will be a nice pop pop towards the upside. So I am a buyer for the NASDAQ medium to longer term. I'm also a buyer in the short term. I opened up a position down around 13,700. I'm happy, I've got a stop loss happily below 13,000 at around 12,800. If it hits my stop loss, that's me out. Then I personally believe that NASDAQ 100 could go a lot lower, perhaps even break down towards 12,000. But ultimately, medium to longer term, I think that we do break above the 50 to 200 day EMA. We do break out of this wedge, and we do go and test 16,000 area as we go into the latter end of 2022.